Okay, we are going to do a rear sprocket swap on a 07 GSX-R 750 from the stock 45 to a 47 tooth. Pretty standard upgrade, pretty easy to do. Document this so all the kids at home can do it. Now, most of this stuff can be done pretty easily with the toolkit that comes with your bike. What helps it is a impact wrench and a 14mm impact socket for your sprocket nuts, and should be good to go. Also, a handy thing to have is a snipe, which I keep in my tail section just in case I need to tighten or loosen my rear tire on the road. So first thing you want to do is loosen off your axle stays, these little nuts here, the lock nut and your axle stay, so you can get at. You can move your axle, remove the cotter pin, which the 07 has, which is sort of annoying. They upgraded an 08 to no cotter pin, and remove that and loosen off the big nut with the provided tool from your kit. Use a snipe to get a little more leverage on it and loosen that right off. Next thing you want to do is, once you got that loosened off, punch your bike back tire forward, pop off your chain, move it to the side, and then you want to remove your rear brake caliper, which just is slide into a little slot. It might just take a little bit of shuffling, but it should come out fairly easily. I guess you can pull the axle first, it might make it easier. Pull your rear axle right out from the back of your tire, like so. It slides out, tire drops down, caliper pops off. As easy as that, and you have your rear tire off, ready to get at those 14mm nuts. Those 5 of them you want to crack off with an impact socket. Makes it easier. If you just have a wrench, that's fine. Use the impact socket to crack off those nuts. Nothing to it. We're using a pretty standard JT sprockets 47 tooth rear, which is 2 up from the stock, and it bolts directly in place. Looks a bit greasy because I had it on mine before I did the 520 conversion, which is put me 1 down in the front and 2 up at the back, which I should have documented but did not. Once you get those twisted on, snug them up with the impact. Once you got that on, set the rear tire. It's easier to sit right behind it, I've found, on your get your stand here, and you can actually get your feet under the tire and lift it up. Get your rear caliper in first. It seems to be easier. Get it into its little slot there, and I found it's easy if you line up your rear disc right into your brake pads. And just try to lift it up and get it right in there. And that sound you heard was the rear axle spacer falling out, which happens, so keep your eye on both sides and just shimmy it so it works into that into those brake pads, your rear caliper. Once you get that lined up, slide that rear axle back in and through, hook your chain onto your sprocket, slide your axle back through with the brackets that just popped out that hold your axle against your frame stays there, and you're back in. So just snug everything up, give yourself a little bit of play in the chain. Maybe everyone's different, but maybe 3/4 of an inch play in your chain to snug it up. and tighten up your axle stays. Remember that when you go to tighten up this rear nut on your axle, that it'll actually tighten your chain too. Having it up on this stand will kind of give you a false reading on your chain. It might be a little tighter than it actually is when you set it on the ground. So if you want to put it back on the kickstand when you actually go to tighten it up for good. And that's all there is to it.